This will be a short overview, approximately 5 minutes, of something that my colleague Joe Glidden in the Education Support Unit and myself have developed to help students develop their writing skills. We've taken the model that academic staff know very well, the request to colleagues to provide critical feedback comments on drafts that might be journal articles prior to submission or grant proposals. And we've done this for students by creating a system that will allow anonymous peer review of draft work. And we've used a market approach, a market-driven system. So we've got students wearing two hats effectively. Up here we've got students who are drafting work, which is a trial, and then once they have some feedback on that, they can see where their errors might be and they can reflect on that and revise the draft. Wearing a different hat, they could be a reviewer, so they're making trials of their attempts to help other students by creating review comments. And if they get feedback too, they can reflect and revise their practice as a reviewer. So we have a process of reviews being done by the red hat, and also a feedback being provided by the recipients of the review. So the way we see this working is we will have students who are working essentially as writers, who are creating drafts which are offered up for review. If someone takes on the review, they will create some review comments. Now, this is not likely to be enough to get this moving. What we need is some incentive, and the incentive is some value attached to that review. So the reviewer is saying, please give me something I value. And the reviewer, so the writer rather, can offer up some reward. Not money, we're going to use points. The reviewer can earn points and the writer has to spend points to get a review. However, you can see where this works, because if you look at the left and right hand images, very often the reviewer will become a writer and the writer the reviewer. And so that whole process is reciprocal. There is a need for the writer to do reviewing because they will not be able to have any credit in their account with which to commission reviews unless they undertake reviews themselves. So one of the questions in this whole process is, how does the reviewer judge the development of their own skills as a reviewer? This process is not providing them with any feedback at the moment. Well, the way we see that working is like this. The writer produces a draft. 8 points disappear from the writer's account. No points yet come out of the bank. The draft is offered up and a reviewer can take on the review. They will produce some feedback comments, review comments, and they will be essentially asking the writer to say, tell me what this is worth. The value that can be attached to it is anywhere between 1 and 5 points. The writer reads the comments, and the comments are meant to help the writer improve their draft. So the writer then completes this process by providing feedback to the reviewer. Your review was, and they can embellish that. And they have awarded, in this case, 4 points. What happens now is that the bank releases 4 points to the reviewer, which goes into their account and can be used by them to commission reviews. And 3 points goes back as a rebate to the writer. This is their incentive for completing this process of feedback. So in net terms, once the writer has completed the feedback to the reviewer, the review has cost them 5 points. If they don't complete this process, it costs them 8 points. So the other screencasts in this series will actually walk you through the tool that we've constructed using largely Google documents, Google Forms, but embedding it as a learning module within Blackboard. It can be used by any Blackboard course, and we're documenting it right now so that people will be able to use it in anger in this coming academic year.